Welcome to Duskhaven Sleep Stories, a quiet place where the day gently fades, and soft stories carry you into rest. Welcome back. Or, if this is your first time here, welcome. You found the right place. Whatever today held, it's done now. You don't need to carry it any further tonight. You can set it down right here at the beginning of this story and pick it back up in the morning if you still want it. But for now, just this. Get comfortable. Let your body sink into wherever you are. Your bed, your couch, your favorite chair. Feel the weight of yourself. Feel how good it is to be still. Tonight's story will take you somewhere warm. A hillside, late in the day, when the sun has done all its work and is only just beginning to think about leaving. The air smells of dry earth and ripe fruit, and something sweet and ancient that has no name in any language, only a feeling. There's no hurry here. There never was. Take one slow breath in and let it go. Let the story begin. His name was Erdar, and he had driven 3 hours to get here, to this particular hillside. On this particular evening in late August. He hadn't entirely planned it. He had been sitting at his kitchen table that morning, eating toast he couldn't taste and reading a news article he couldn't concentrate on, when something had simply shifted in him, a quiet but firm decision. The way a door closes not from the wind, but from someone's hand deliberately. Finally, he had put down his toast. He had closed his laptop. He had found the name of a guest house he had stayed at once. Years ago, in the wine country hills 200 kilometers south, he had called and, miraculously, they had a room. And so he had driven. now he stood at the edge of a terraced vineyard, at the top of a long stone staircase that descended through the vines in broad, gentle steps. And he looked out at what the late afternoon had made of the world. The light was extraordinary. It was the golden hour, that brief, lavish window in the late afternoon when the sun drops low enough to stop being harsh and becomes, instead, something almost tender. Everything it touched turned warm. The pale stone of the terrace walls, the dark green of the vine leaves, the red-brown earth between the rows. Even the air itself seemed to hold the light, as though it had been drinking it in all day, and was only now releasing it slowly. The way a stone releases the warmth it has stored from hours in the sun. Edda sat down on the low stone wall at the top of the staircase. He was not looking at anything in particular. He was simply looking. The vineyard stretched down the hillside in long, clean rows, 5 terraces, each one contained by a dry stone wall built generations ago. The stones fitted together without mortar, balanced on their own weight. Cracked and dry on the surface, but dark and damp just below. And the whole hillside smelled of it, of that warm, alive, particular smell of summer soil at the end of a long day. The vines themselves were heavy. It was nearly harvest time. The grapes hung in dense, full clusters, purple-black and round, dusted with a pale bloom that made them look as though they had been brushed with frost. Edda could see them clearly from where he sat, hanging from the wires in the warm light, absolutely still. A single bee moved slowly along the nearest row, drifting from cluster to cluster with the unhurried confidence of someone who has nowhere to be and every reason to stay. Edda watched it. He breathed in. The air tasted faintly of sugar, not sweetness exactly, but the promise of it. The fruit was so ripe that it was almost breathing. He exhaled slowly, for the first time in longer than he could remember. He had nothing to do. Guesthouse sat at the top of the hill. A low, wide building of pale ochre stone with a roof of curved terracotta tiles, and shutters painted the same deep green as the vine leaves below. It had been here for at least 200 years, perhaps longer. The walls were thick enough to keep the interior cool, even in the height of August. And the ceilings were low and beamed with old chestnut wood. The woman who ran it was named Cecile. She was perhaps 70, with white hair pulled back loosely, and the kind of hands that had kneaded bread and pruned vines, and been washed in cold water thousands of times. Strong, unhurried hands that moved with absolute certainty through every small task. She had greeted Edda at the door as though she had been expecting him, which she had, but also as though she was simply glad he had come, as a person might greet an old friend without ceremony but with warmth. She had shown him to his room. It was small and very clean, with 2 windows, one facing east toward the valley, one facing west toward the hillside and the vineyard, and a bed that was neither too soft nor too firm, covered in white linen that smelled faintly of lavender, and the kind of outdoor air that only comes from being hung on a line in the sun. Edda had put down his bag and stood at the west-facing window for a long time, looking at the terraces. "Dinner is at 8, Cecile had said from the doorway. "But there's wine and bread in the kitchen whenever you want. And the lower terrace is very pleasant at this hour, if you'd like to walk." Then she had gone, her footsteps quiet on the old wooden floor. And the house had settled back into its particular silence, the silence of old buildings, of thick walls, of a place that has seen enough seasons to be entirely untroubled by the passage of time. Edda changed out of his driving clothes, put on his lightest shirt, and went back out into the evening. He walked down through the vineyard slowly, taking the wide stone staircase from terrace to terrace, trailing his hand along the vine leaves as he passed. They were warm still, not hot, the way they would have been at noon, but gently warm, the way a hand is warm when it has been held. The sun was lower now. The shadows of the vines stretched long and thin across the terracotta earth, and the light had shifted from gold to something richer, a deep amber that lived in the stones of the terrace walls and turned the clusters of dark grapes into something that glowed. A lizard startled at his approach and vanished between two stones. The bee he had seen earlier, or another one very like it, moved through a patch of wild thyme at the edge of the path. Its drone so low and steady that he felt it more than heard it. He reached the lowest terrace. Here, the land leveled out into a small plateau before the hillside continued its descent into the valley, and someone, Cecile, he assumed, had placed a wooden table and 2 chairs at the very edge of the terrace, facing outward, facing the view. On the table sat a bottle of wine already open, 2 glasses, a small board with a piece of cheese and a handful of dried figs and 3 slices of bread, rough and dense and still faintly warm from the oven. He looked at the second chair. He looked back up the hill toward the guest house. There was no sign of Cecile. He sat down, poured a glass of the wine. It was red, deep-colored, smelling of dark fruit and something earthy and faintly mineral. And he looked out at the valley below. The valley was a particular kind of beautiful that Edda had almost forgotten existed. It was not dramatic. There were no mountains, no waterfalls, no grand geological gestures. It was simply very, very there. Present, accumulated. The kind of landscape that had been shaped by 1,000 years of patient human hands. The patchwork of fields in shades of gold and brown, and fading green. The dark lines of trees along old property boundaries, the occasional red roof of a farmhouse half hidden in a stand of oaks, the silver thread of a river moving slowly through the lowest point of the valley floor, catching the last light. The sky above it all was doing something extraordinary. As the sun continued its descent toward the ridgeline to the west, the clouds above the valley had turned first pink, then a deep, saturated coral, and now, as Edda watched, They were beginning to shift towards something that was not quite purple and not quite grey, but something richer than either. A colour that only existed in skies and old paintings, and the insides of certain shells. He took a slow sip of the wine. It tasted of the hill he was sitting on. He was almost certain of it, of this specific earth, this specific elevation, this specific angle of sunlight over all the years that had gone into making it. He ate a piece of bread with the cheese. He was not hurrying. He was not thinking about anything in particular, or rather, thoughts came and went as they wanted to, moving through him the way the breeze moved through the vine leaves, without staying, without catching. The second chair remained empty. It did not feel lonely. It felt like a kindness, the presence of space, of room for someone who might yet come. After some time, he had no idea how long, time had become pleasantly approximate. He became aware of footsteps on the stone staircase above him. Cecile appeared at the edge of the terrace, carrying a small lantern, a real one with a candle inside, not electric, which she set on the table beside the wine. She sat in the second chair without asking whether it was taken, which it wasn't, and poured herself a glass of the wine, and looked out at the valley. They sat in silence for a comfortable while. "You've been here before," she said eventually. It was not quite a question. "Once," Edda said, "about 8 years ago. With someone?" A small pause. "Yes?" Cecile nodded, as though this told her everything she needed to know, and also as though it told her nothing she hadn't already suspected. She was not the kind of woman who followed a tender subject too far into the dark. "The valley is different every evening," she said. "I've lived here 40 years, and I've never seen it the same way twice." She tilted her head slightly. "That's why I put the chairs here." "So you can watch it change? So I don't forget too." The sun slipped below the ridgeline in the west. It happened gradually, and then all at once. The last sliver of light. The final moment of direct gold. And then it was gone. And the sky began its slow conversion from color to cool. From amber and coral and that deep wine purple toward a blue that deepened steadily, 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 like water filling a vessel. The valley disappeared into a soft blue haze. The lantern flame steadied. The crickets, which had been tentative until now, settled into their full evening song. An even, continuous sound, so constant it became almost like silence itself, a texture rather than a sound, a warm and gentle background against which everything else sat. Cecile had gone inside some time ago, with a quiet good night and a gesture toward the staircase that meant she'd leave the door unlocked. Edda sat alone. He was not thinking about tomorrow. He was not thinking about the drive home. The laptop that would be waiting for him. The messages that would have accumulated in the hours he had been away. None of that had any weight here. He was only here. The stone beneath him, the cooling air, the lantern flame, the wine, the last of it, turning dark in the glass. The smell of the earth, which had not cooled yet, which was still releasing the warmth of the day, the way a sleeping person releases a long-held breath, slow and deep and without hurry. He pressed the sole of his shoe against the terrace wall. The stone was still warm. He leaned back in his chair. He looked up. The stars had begun. Not many at first, the brightest ones. The ones that appear while the sky is still blue, before the full dark arrives. But then, as the blue deepened, more of them, and more. And then so many that the mind stopped trying to count them and simply received them. The way you receive the sound of the sea, not as individual waves, but as a whole thing, a presence, something larger than the sum of its parts. Edda had not seen a sky like this in years. In the city, the stars were almost entirely hidden. A few determined planets, a smear of the moon, and otherwise a uniform orange-grey. He had forgotten that this was what the sky actually looked like. That this had been above him every night of his life. Invisible behind the light he had built to keep the dark away. He sat with his head tilted back and looked at it for a very long time. A shooting star moved across the southern sky, there and gone in a single second, leaving nothing behind but the memory of itself. He hadn't made a wish, he thought about it, and decided that was all right. He didn't want anything right now. Wanting nothing felt, in this moment, like the most extraordinary luxury in the world. He carried the lantern back up through the vineyard. The path was uneven underfoot, old stone worn smooth in the center by decades of feet, slightly rough at the edges where moss and small plants had found their footholds between the cracks. And he walked carefully, not from fear of falling, but because there was something satisfying about paying attention to where your feet were, about feeling the ground. The lantern threw a warm circle of light around him, just enough to see the next few steps. The next section of terrace wall, the clusters of grapes hanging above the path. He reached up and touched one. The skin was smooth and tight, still holding the warmth of the day, or perhaps the warmth of the lantern. He couldn't be sure. It yielded slightly under his thumb, full and ready. He let it go. The vine leaf above it rustled once, very softly, and was still. He passed through the second terrace and the third. Here, sheltered from the breeze by the angle of the hill, the air was very still and the smell was strongest. That warm, ripe, dark smell of late summer earth and ready fruit that he had been breathing since he arrived, and that had, over the course of the evening, done something to him that he couldn't quite name but could certainly feel. He felt slower. He felt heavier in a good way. Not weighed down, but settled. as though he had more mass now than he'd arrived with. As though the evening had deposited something in him, some sediment of calm. Some layer of stillness that had built up quietly over the hours, the way silt builds up on a riverbed without being noticed. Until one day the bottom of the river is different than it was before. He climbed the last staircase. The guest house was lit from within, a warm yellow light in 2 windows. The kind that means someone has left a lamp on for you. He pushed open the heavy wooden door. His room was as he had left it. The windows were still open, both of them. The east-facing one toward the dark valley, the west-facing one toward the vineyard and the stars. And a warm, faintly moving air came through them both, meeting somewhere in the middle of the small room in a current so gentle it was barely more than a breath. He set down the lantern on the windowsill. He stood for a moment between the 2 windows, feeling the air move. Outside, the vineyard was very dark now. He could not see the individual vines, only a general darkness that was somehow not quite the same as the darkness of the sky. A darkness that had a different quality, warmer, denser, alive in a quiet way. The cricket's song rose and fell. He washed his face and hands at the small basin in the corner of the room. The water was cold, and it was wonderful. And then he sat on the edge of the bed. The linen was cool against his hands. He lay back. The pillow received him. The duvet, light, almost weightless, exactly right for a summer night, settled over him. He turned onto his side and looked at the window. Through the west-facing pane, through the darkness, he could just make out the faint shape of the hillside. Or perhaps he was imagining it. constructing it from memory and desire. The low line of the terrace walls, the dark mass of the vines, the stars above them, steady and unhurried. The smell of the earth was still in his nose, warm and dark and ancient. The smell of something that had been growing and resting, and growing again for longer than anyone alive could remember. He breathed it in, he breathed it out. His eyes grew heavy. The candle in the lantern on the windowsill had almost burned down. Its flame was very small now, a low, steady point of warmth in the dark room, barely larger than a thumbnail, throwing no real light but refusing, for the moment, to go out. He watched it without trying to watch it. His thoughts, which had been sparse and quiet all evening, became sparser still, loose impressions rather than thoughts, images rather than words. The color of the sky at dusk, the weight of a cluster of grapes in the vine, the warm stone of the terrace wall under his palm, the sound of the valley below in the dark, not silence exactly, but a very deep quiet. The quiet of things that have no need to make noise. The lantern flame, the cricket's song, the open window, the smell of the earth, in, out. At some point, the lantern went out. He did not notice. He was already somewhere else. Somewhere quiet and warm and without edges. Somewhere the evening had been leading him all along without his knowing it. Down through the terraces and the golden light and the darkening sky, and the wine and the stars, step by step, breath by breath, all the way to this, the most ordinary, extraordinary thing in the world. Sleep. That's the end of tonight's story. You've come a long way today. Let all of it rest now. The things you did and the things you didn't do. The things you said and the things left unsaid. Let them all rest. Right now, there is only the ground beneath you and the dark around you and your own breathing. Think, if you like, of that hillside at dusk. The smell of warm earth after a long summer day. The weight of ripe grapes on a vine. The slow shift of a sky turning from gold to amber to that deep, vad listag. The feel of cool linen. The open window. The distant song of crickets in the warm night. You are very comfortable. You are very safe. You don't need to do anything at all. Just breathe. Just this. Just the soft and patient dark. Sleep well.